From a Bohemian enclave, this is the Steve Brown Arts Center, nestled in busy downtown Jesup, Iowa, alongside producer Blake Tempus and co-host Dale Rueber. I'm Jim Gillespie. We have a full house tonight. This is the Jesup News for August 16th, 2026. Some advice before we get started.
I need advice.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too. Jimmy Durante.
You can turn that into a song, I bet.
Well, Jimmy Durante. Let me say it again.
Come on. Yeah, I love Jimmy Durante.
Yeah, I did too.
And would you think with a face like that and a voice like that, he became a big movie star? What do you call it?
Yeah.
Vaudeville. He was in vaudeville and movies, and I suppose he's on Broadway and plays. So there's hope for you yet, Gillespie.
There is.
Yeah.
Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too.
Yeah. And
Jimmy Durante.
I think that's really
Yeah. Also, check out the podcast, What's Up, with our friend Bubba Seaman. On that podcast, they talk about everything with everyone. Nothing is off the table, discussing real life with real people. The good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and everything funny in between. By the way, Dale got to my chair. It's an interesting yet entertaining podcast with real people talking about what is up. Dale, let's start with a moving question right now.
A moving question.
Moving question.
Do you get constipated when you travel?
I get mentally constipated.
Oh, mentally? Okay. But it's hard to go to the bathroom in strange places every day. You go to motel to motel. And so you get home and eat a big bowl of bran cereal, and then you have a moving experience the next day. So is that what you were talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Cut that out, Blake.
All right. Don't cut that out, Blake. We're not butchering that, Blake. Blake, do you know Jimmy Durante? You don't know him. All right, we're back. Here's the question of the day. And no, I'm not mentally constipated.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I didn't think so.
Dale.
Yes.
Is the jelly bean a first ballot Hall of Fame candy in the Candy Hall of Fame? The jelly bean.
A jelly bean, I bet it is. Yes.
You think it should be?
Oh, it's not? But
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I think it should be, yes. Ronald Reagan ate those jelly beans.
Just for that reason?
Jelly bellies? Yeah.
You believe that for that reason?
They became very popular.
What's your favorite flavor?
I like the black ones, licorice ones.
Oh, you're Taliban.
Yeah. Is that all right? Now we can tell all about you by what flavor jelly bean. Black one, you're Taliban. Green one, what do you call it?
Really?
Tree hugger.
Black?
Yeah, they're very good. Plus, you never have to share with anybody. So
you're right. You don't have to share.
Nobody fights over. No,
wow.
I do like. We used to did you ever play cowboys when you were young?
Yeah,
they had pistols and everything, and you would chew black licorice instead of you couldn't chew tobacco, so you chew black licorice.
That's pretty sharp.
So, well, you gotta if you're gonna do a character, you gotta go all the way.
See, my dad had mail pouch chewing tobacco in the house at all times. I chewed the real McCoy.
Yeah. I had an old friend, and his. And I don't know if it was called peachy crap is what it was called in the big can. I'll never forget it. And he would chew it, and then he would take out a big wad and throw it on the ground. And his dog, who was named Dewey, his dog would eat it. And he'd say, that dog will never have worms because he's eating that tobacco. Okay.
That sort of reminds me of that black licorice jelly bean you're talking about right there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So my favorite.
Okay. You're assuming that someone cares. Okay, go ahead. The red ones?
The red, the cherry red.
Okay.
But someone told me their favorite is a popcorn. I'd never heard of the popcorn before.
I have not, no.
Buttered popcorn.
Buttered popcorn, yeah.
I'm a traditionalist. I have an 8-pack of crayons, and I have just the regular 6 colors of jelly beans. So.
See, it bothers me to go into the store and buy jelly beans that are not the real jelly bean.
Yeah.
I mean, there's companies that make make them. You know, I guess they're generic if you would call them that, but they're not as good as regular jelly beans.
Now, what is a jelly bean? Is it 100% sugar, or is there other things in there?
Well, there's got to be, because they're different flavors.
Yeah, well, there'd be a little flavoring in there, but
could be cornstarch.
I wonder if they have the ingredients on the bag. We should look that up. The world wants to know.
The world wants to know. Okay, all right. So then here's the next question.
Okay.
What is a food that you can't stop eating? If you got it in front of you,
Yeah,
and you can't stop eating it, what is it?
I can eat a lot of popcorn.
Yeah.
So popcorn is really easy for me to snack on over long periods of time.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So popcorn.
Yeah. You see where not Olympus, but Ulysses. You can get Ulysses, like horse-shaped popcorn containers at the theaters for like $80.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For the Odyssey, you mean?
Yeah, for the Odyssey. What did I say? Ulysses.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just talking about the character.
Yeah. That they had containers for that, and for the other big movie that was out. You could get a container of popcorn at the theater was $70 to $80.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant marketing. That's good marketing.
That's stupid purchasing, though, don't you think? I mean, you could get 10 cents worth of popcorn in there, and it was, still really cheap. And so, did your parents grow popcorn in their garden or anything?
We tried that one year.
Okay, we did it every year, and you would have to thumb those kernels off, and pretty soon you have a big blister on your thumb because we were so poor we couldn't afford gloves. But no, we had to push all the kernels off the cobs into a jar. Then there was some way you had to shake it up so you get all the little dust stuff out. And
so what do you mix with your popcorn?
I don't know. I just like 1/3 of a cup of oil, 3 tablespoons of oil and 1/3 a cup of seed. And I have one of those aluminum poppers. You turn the crank at the end. It's supposed to be the world's greatest popcorn popper. Oh, it works like a charm.
But I mean, after you're done with the popcorn, what I do is if I have a block of cheese in my refrigerator, I'll grate cheese over top of it.
Yeah. See, I'm not a cheese all over everything person, but Georgia Kimmerer, do you remember? She was the school nurse when I first came up here, and she said eating popcorn is like eating ground glass. She said it was just horrible stuff for you. So,
well, it's not good for diverticulitis.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as you get older, almost everybody develops diverticulitis.
Oh, do they really?
It's your body just doesn't handle.
Yeah.
The food that...
Just one more thing I can check off, right?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so black licorice, popcorn. So have you ever mixed black licorice and popcorn? Or not black licorice, but black jelly beans and popcorn?
No.
So if you were to go...
Actually, I probably never eat jelly beans now.
Right.
But as a kid, you would get them around Easter time. And that was the only time we'd ever have jelly beans.
So if somebody offered you, if I brought in a bag of jelly beans, you wouldn't eat a handful?
Well, I might, just to make you feel. No, I would probably have some, yes. But it's not something I would go looking for. I don't get up on the 1st of June and say, geez, I'd like some jelly beans. It just doesn't occur to me to eat those.
So as you've been sent on many assignments here from the Steve Brown Arts Center.
Yes. And a lot of good things I've brought back too now.
You have traveled this wide earth,
wide world. Yes.
What as you head toward the airport and you stop at a Casey's or a Quick Star, what do you normally purchase to munch on as you're driving?
Oh, well, we the circle peppermints and the little peppermints and butterscotch.
Yeah.
We always kept those in the car. They were not a chewy thing, but you could suck on them and get the butterscotch or the peppermint, and so that was usually the in-car kind of treat we had.
That's a good move.
Keeps you awake.
Plus, it's cheaper. It keeps you awake, really.
Oh yeah, well, it's something. Yeah, you're working on something, so
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's not caffeine or anything. It's just the idea that go to sleep and swallow it, choke to death. But
right.
So how did he go? Oh, you don't want to know. So,
So if I were to not be able to stop eating, nibs is one of them.
Okay.
Red licorice though, not the black stuff.
Like the sticks or the twists?
Well, the little nibs.
Oh, the little ones.
The little ones.
Okay.
Although I like the the sticks of licorice too.
Yeah.
If I buy a bag, I know enough not to buy it anymore because I'm going to open the bag and eat them all.
If you take a thing of, they're called licorice whips, right?
Yeah.
They're like take out of a booze, they don't last very long. People like those. They're nice to chew on. So.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
And most people buy the red for that, not the black, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So, and usually the red is sitting on the shelf in a store, not the black.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, again, usually other people buy those, and I just so I just don't think about buying for myself.
This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. The Steve Brown Arts Center is calling on neighbors, artists, students, and storytellers to lend their energy to our community podcast. We're looking for volunteers to help with recording, interviews, editing, and story gathering. No experience required, just heart and curiosity. Your voice can help amplify local artists, preserve community stories, and keep creative culture thriving and independence. If you're interested in joining the team, reach out today and become part of the Steve Brown Arts Center story. So, Dale, what do you have for us today?
Well, I was catching up on papers, and a couple of years ago, Ryne Sandberg died. He was a Hall of Fame shortstop for the Cubs, and I'd seen him play many times. And it was one of those deaths you read about, and you get that feeling in your stomach, like an empty feeling, or it's hard to describe. So I text my son. I said, Ryne Sandberg died, and it's affecting me in some way. And he said, yeah. He said, I know what you're thinking, because it was getting to him too. Well, was gone last week, and so I didn't have the newspapers. So I was trying to catch up this afternoon, and I read, and I think it was in the Sunday paper, so it must have been late last week, that Don Nelson had died. And Don Nelson is a Hall of Fame NBA basketball coach. And I remember him more. He was a player at University of Iowa in 59 to 61. He had 3 years there, 59, 16, 61. And so one of the first players as a kid, I would have been just a little over 10, 12 years old, the first real basketball player that I took an interest in. And he played for the University of Iowa, and in those days you could only play 3 years varsity, and he's almost every Iowa record there was, he was at the top by the time he was finished. And went on to play for the Boston Celtics. So I became a Boston Celtics fan. He was at a couple other teams for a few years, but he ended up with the Boston Celtics. And he was there for, I think, 5 championship teams. He was like the sixth man. He was always the first guy in. I don't know if you ever saw him shoot free throws or anything, but he was clear up here. He would be clear up here and shoot. He started out his senior year, and he was a very good free throw shooter. And you look at him and you watch him run, and this sort of thing, you think, okay, he doesn't belong out there with Cousy and Bill Russell, but he played very, very well and was a real important part of their team. And then, of course, became a Hall of Fame coach. When he left coaching, he was the winningest coach in the NBA. He's since been passed. But I was thinking there was something about his time at the University of Iowa, and so I went back and looked. And in 61, there was a big gambling scandal in college basketball. And Connie Hawkins was on that team in Iowa, very excellent player. And he got involved with that, and he had to sit out that year, and then he lost some years in the NBA also before he got back in. And then, and Nelson had nothing to do with any of that. And then 4 of the starters that year were halfway through the semester were declared ineligible because of grades. So Nelson was the only starter left on the team, and he averaged 23.8 points and 11.9 rebounds that year, and they finished second in the Big Ten. So,
wow.
So I keep thinking, because he was supposed to be a fantastic team, and then
who was coaching that outfit at that time?
I think it was Bucky Harris or whatever.
Yeah,
I believe he was the one. Because, they weren't on TV very much. I don't remember watching them on TV too much, but you listen on the radio and read about them in the paper all the time. And so, but I saw him play on television when he played for the Celtics, but excellent player. But he left school in 1962 after his senior year, and he was 10 hours short. And after all his basketball career, played basketball, coached this and for a long, long time, he came back in 2012 to the University of Iowa and got his BA degree in physical education. So I thought that was kind of neat that his education, he finished up his education. So anyway, I just thought, again, one of those players is something from your childhood and it's gone, it's gone. And the guy, he's 86 or whatever, he's going to die, but it's just the idea of someone that you didn't know him except through his basketball playing. But he just seemed like a nice person and somebody that you liked, and so.
He was known as a bohemian in the NBA as far as he made the point forward. He made the small forward he didn't have a point guard in his offense. He made the forward bring the ball up.
Yeah.
He had his big man shooting the three.
Yeah.
Before everybody else did. He changed the game drastically. If you look at his team's scoring averages, his teams were scoring more points every year than most teams.
One of the articles I read, they said he changed the game. Everybody was just feeding the post, trying to get as close to the basket as possible. And he had his his team was smaller than anybody else's, and they could run faster, and they'd zip around, and they shot more long shots, and they more assist kind of basketball, and that he did change the game.
Yeah.
You look at some people do the job, other people get the job and then they improve it. They make it better. What they're responsible for, and apparently he was one of those people. So
if you look at his son Donnie, coached the Lithuanian team when the Soviet Union broke up. There was a bunch of Lithuanians on that group, and Donnie took that group and they finished. I think they won a bronze medal.
Okay.
And that was a big scandal. It was one of the first times an NBA coach went outside the United States and coached a foreign team. How could they do that? Well, they've been doing that in soccer or football for generations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it's interesting because he was 6'6". He was undersized as a center in college, but they said in the article I was reading that he outplayed players much taller than him many, many times. That he was in college, especially most of the time, he was the best player on the floor, no matter who they were playing. And so just an excellent player. And I don't know, just him dying is one of those names that kind of gets you when you think about your own mortality, I guess. So.
He was living in Hawaii when he died. I believe his house was made of hemp. No, really.
Okay, I don't want to hear this kind of stuff. Some things you should just keep to yourself, you know.
This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. We will be right back after this time off. This is Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network, and we're back. How's it sound?
Good.
All right. After I pounded on the table during the break.
Sure.
I did. So another little advice from Jimmy Durante.
Okay.
Goes back to my school days.
All right.
He talking about his big nose. He said the pain I felt so profoundly about people picking on him for his big nose in school.
Yeah.
Was I resolved never to cause another person distress. Regardless of the circumstances, I refrained from mocking a person's large ears, their speech impediments, or their mental well-being. I received a lot of crap growing up about my big ears.
Yeah. And did that lead you to not do that to other people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
I think that does affect people. Sometimes you know how you feel when someone does something like that to you, and so you don't want to do it to anybody else.
Right.
Unless they really deserve it.
So like me trying to one up your story about the chocolate fudge.
Chocolate fudge, old fudge, yes.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. All right, so we're back to school. We're back to school, Dale.
Yeah.
Here are 6 things you should say to your children in the morning.
Okay.
And it'll change your house in 2 weeks.
Okay. What's the one phrase that every teacher says?
I'm not talking to teachers. I'm talking to parents. But one phrase that every teacher says.
Every teacher says. Kindergarten through 12th grade. At one time or another.
Good morning.
No, sit down and be quiet.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Sooner or later, you have to say that.
I'll never forget Zach Knutson eulogized Pat Rose at her funeral in the gym there.
Yeah.
And he opened his eulogy Rose casket was there, and he was standing up by it, and he said, "This is the first time in my life that I've been standing by Rose, and she hasn't said to me, 'Sit down and shut up.'"
I was going to say, Zach Knudsen heard that phrase many times.
Yes, he did.
Thousands of times.
But so here are 6 things you should say to your children in the morning.
Okay.
To change their lives. It'll change their lives in 2 weeks, Dale.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You greet them with good morning and their name,
Right.
not at the toaster.
Yeah.
Good morning and their name. That's the first thing.
Sure. That's what the teacher should do also.
And the teacher should do that as well. You're right.
Okay.
The second thing you should do as a parent, instead of attacking them or yelling at them, is I like having you here. Life is better because you're in our
family
house.
or whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I like having you here.
Okay.
If you can get that out of your mouth every day, life will get better with your child.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure it's hard every day.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Number 3, instead of asking, what are you doing today? They're going to say math or science or PE or lunch. You ask them, what is going to be the hardest part of your day? Mm-hmm. And they may say, I have a test in Gillespie's class, or I have a test in Rueber's class, or I've got a paper due in Klotzbach's class, or whatever. But then after you ask them that, you can say, well, I will be thinking about that today.
Yeah.
And
so you're on their team, you're kind of with them. Yeah. Okay.
You're supporting them.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. The fourth thing is you got to remember, not a lot of houses smile before 7:30.
Okay.
Especially kids. Kids don't biologically wake up till 9 o'clock.
Right.
It's pretty well documented.
Yeah. So why do we start school so early?
Good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Good question.
All right.
It's because parents.
Well, yeah, it's a convenience of the parents and the school.
Yeah.
It's not good for kids.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm glad you agree, because study after study shows that, especially high school kids.
Oh, yeah.
And so, okay.
All right. I'm with you.
All right.
Okay, that's number 4. So if your child looks angry in the morning, well, let them be angry. They'll get over it by 9 o'clock. I tell you what, my first hour of class, I used to ask them sometimes, whose wake is this? Because they'd be so quiet.
Okay. If somebody die, I don't see no seats empty.
Number 5, I will be thinking about you today.
Okay.
Okay, we talked about that when we talked about what they faced in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Then finally, number 6, give them a time you're going to see them at the end of the day. Don't say, see you at the end of the day. Kids need boundaries. Students need boundaries.
Yeah.
I will see you at 5:45. I will pick you up at 6 o'clock, or I pick you up when school's out.
Yeah.
Give them a boundary and follow that boundary. Those 6 things, life will get better in your house.
So when do you get to ask, today's PE day, do you have your clothes? Do you know where your horn is? Do you have the music that goes with the horn? Those shoes don't match. Those are the things you tell your kid in the morning. Are you going to comb your hair or go like that? Didn't you wear that shirt yesterday? It's just, those are the things you end up asking.
Those other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your things are much nicer, but reality.
I understand. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So there's got to be a fine line.
A fine line, yes. So I think your things, the last 15 minutes the kid is here, I'm going to ask those other questions. But the first 15 minutes, you see him at breakfast, you could ask those nice questions there to get the kid feeling good about himself and everything. Okay. And then he can't find his horn. And so you figure, well, you're the same idiot you were yesterday. Don't. It's okay.
All right. So, Dale, what else do you have for us today besides Don Nelson?
Thinking about what we talked about last week, about how you remembered.
I forgot what we were talking about.
how do you think people will remember you?
Oh, that's
We
right.
talked about that.
Yes.
And
Very good.
and there was an article. This is the Register, Sunday, August 9th, by a man named Martin, Rusty Martin. And he says, I'm deciding to die before Alzheimer's takes my mind. Okay? And what he is concerned about is as his mind slowly deteriorates, he will not be the same person he has been. And that's how his people will remember him. And then also that he needed all this care, all this expense, all these traumatic things happened during his last years of life. And so he has decided that before his mind goes completely, he is going to have assisted suicide. He's going to Switzerland. In Switzerland, you have to be 2 months in a row be examined by officials or doctors, and they have to certify that you're in your right mind when you're making this decision. And so with this Alzheimer's diagnosis, if he waits too long,
Not in his right mind.
he wouldn't be in his right mind, they wouldn't do it. And so it encourages you then to go a little earlier than you really want to, so that you die earlier than maybe you would have to. And so, but he is so concerned about being warehoused in a nursing home or being such a burden on his family, because physically he would be fine, but mentally he's not there anymore. That's not the same person. And so the thing you wonder about is, again, if you would discuss this with theologians and this sort of thing, is should you allow someone who is basically healthy of body to end his own life, even though his mind is no good? Because the body is still healthy. It's the mind that's not there anymore. And so that's what he is going through, he and his family. And they have decided to go ahead and do this thing in Switzerland. And so I looked at, there's like 11 states in the United States that have some kind of assisted suicide law. In Iowa, legislature has discussed it, I guess, but they've never done anything, as far as I know, to go along with that. So I don't know. There's other states that are pending looking at it. And so what do you think about the healthy body, but the mind is gone?
About 30 years ago, it's been a while, I had a discussion with a cancer nurse about this, and she was struggling, because she had battled with a lot of people on the edge of death and talked about assisted suicide. And she asked me this question. And I always believed where there's life, there's hope. And that is my stance, and that as I've gotten older and watched friends and relatives that have battled at the end for years and that were different people, I still believe where there's life, there's hope. It's not easy. Where do you stand?
Well, I've always thought that the person should be allowed to make, if you're going to live the last X number of months or even years in terrible pain that can't be controlled, and that you can't have any kind of enjoyment of life in any way because of all this pain that you're in, like bone cancer or something, if they can't control it or whatever, that you ought to be able to have that right to end your own life. But you get to that point where I think people question your sanity. Are you in so much pain that that is making you make this decision that you really don't want to do it, or this sort of thing? I don't know if that made any sense or not. But so I don't know. I like people to have power over their own lives. What I don't like is, the relatives lining up to see who's going to pull the plug so they can inherit the house or whatever. But so I don't know. It's very, very difficult. Every case would have to be looked at very carefully, I think. But just to say, no, we will never do this, I think is wrong. I think that there are circumstances that would, I think any normal person would say, yeah, I think you got the right to go. And so, I don't know, my brother, I know he had cancer, started prostate cancer, and we got it all. And then 2 years later, it was all back, and even more so, and then in the bones and that sort of thing. And he was in the VA, so every 3 months I drive in Iowa City, that he had to have a check to see if his medicines were doing him any good that the VA was paying for. And if they thought they were doing him some good, then they would allow him to take him another 3 months to have a prescription. And he looked at me and he said, these things cost $10,000 a month and they don't do anything except let me live a little longer. They don't cure anything. They just let me live a little longer. And he had a lot of guilt about all the money he was sucking out of the system just to keep him alive a little bit longer. And so, it's not easy. Death is not easy, and planning for it is not easy because it always ends up differently than you think it's going to. So,
Dale, at what point, you talk about that $10,000 your brother was battling in his mind with or over. What is a financial denomination? What is a $5 bill? What is a $10 bill? It's a piece of paper with the president on and a couple of writings and some numbers.
Sure.
Compared to a living human.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tragedy that we are in a financial position in a hospital, or a hospital says we owe $100,000 for this disease, or $10,000 for this pill, or it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not convinced you're not right about. I won't say you're right, but I'm not convinced you're wrong that people should have their own choice. Choice is a lot of things. Choice is abortion. Choice is a lot of things. But it shouldn't be. Money shouldn't affect that. I don't believe.
Yeah, but money affects everything, though.
And it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, and you look at a hospital and you say, okay, how much do you have wrapped up in technology, in machines, X-ray machines, diagnostic tools, all this stuff you have, and then how much did it cost to get this kid through medical school and trained for to be a doctor? And that took a lot of years, so that he's got a shortened work life to make that money back and prepare for his own retirement. There's so many things. So the costs are really terrific. But when you charge somebody $100 for an aspirin or something, it's hard for people to. That just doesn't sit right. And so I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why there are people working 40 hours a week that are on food stamps. But the place where they work, that corporation or those people that control that are making tons and tons of money, but they don't pay the wages so that you have a living wage, that you have a wage where you can pay all your bills and save a little bit at the end too. They don't do that. And so why in a country like ours should that be the case? And they're doing everything they can. The unions are, and all these laws they had, guaranteed wages and this sort of thing are gone. And so that's not right either. So I don't know. I have any. If I had answers, I would be somewhere beside here right now. So all I have is questions, I guess.
Let me present an answer for, not necessarily for this man, but an answer for you. I really believe maybe like a town the size of Jesup in Alaska used to do this, that Jesup could pay the way for a doctor to go through school. If that doctor worked in our town for 5 years. And then after 5 years, we do that for another doctor.
And there are places that do that sort of thing.
Why can't, and I'm looking for an answer. I'm not trying to be,
I understand.
As I ask you this, why couldn't Jesup do that?
Yeah, well, you think of all the students that have gone through here in the last, I'll say 50 years I've been here. How many of them became doctors?
Oh, good question. That'd be an interesting number to look at.
Very few. And then how many of them would want to work in Jesup?
I'm not saying, though, that we have to do that for a Jesup kid, a student. I'm saying we just do that for a doctor.
Student, yeah. But I'm just saying, how many potential doctors are there out there that have what it takes to become a physician?
Well, that's the other thing.
That are not becoming physicians.
Who was it talking to? Someone that wants to go to medical school. I think the University of Iowa has room for 80 in the University of Iowa medical school.
That's not enough.
Yeah. Why not double that?
Yeah. Well, that would be great. Yeah, that would be great. But then, a lot of doctors congregate, like they want to work in Iowa City or they want to work in Des Moines. And so if you have too many doctors in too small an area, well, then they have trouble making a living.
So if we go together with Fairbank and Jesup, and we each get a doctor and we have a clinic. And they spend 1 week in Jesup and 1 week in Fairbank and go back and forth. There's 2 doctors in our area. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, yeah. If the doctor, like you go to the doctor, if I go to the clinic down here, I see a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner. And 90% of the stuff that comes in there, they can handle. It's just, so you only need a doctor a certain amount of time, a certain amount of cases. I don't know, and again, would you keep a doctor busy enough?
Good question.
To doing, and again, how many doctors want to be family physicians and how many want to specialize in something where they, do surgery or pediatrics or something like that. So, pediatrics, they don't want to do that anymore because that's too much trouble, I guess. But,
I'm getting the cuts on from our producer here.
Well, we're talking about doctors. Blake's the surgeon
there you go.
with that darn computer. So.
This is Steve Brown Art Center Podcast Network. We'll be right back. This is Steve Brown Art Center Podcast Network. We're back for Act 3, the third half of our show. After talking about a little life changing,
yes,
we have some positives from our investor Katie Belvin.
Yes, and positives are good.
They are. Yeah. They are.
And I think I'm a positive person.
You are. You are.
But there are some things out there, realistically. I remember talking to a class once about, do you think you would ever change your dad's diaper? And they, of course, little kids, no. I said, well, if he can't do it himself, what are you going to do? Who's going to do it? Sometimes you get in a position where there are nasty things that need to be done, and there's only you to do it. And so I know you're only 5 years old, but you need to think about it.
No, I know.
Yeah. So
it is. We used to have that discussion in high school.
Well, sure. Yeah. Like, who's going to clean up Dad? And, and you say, well, Dad needs help in the bathroom. Who's going to help Dad in the bathroom? And, everybody starts looking at everybody else, but, sometimes it's only you. You got to do it. You just roll up your sleeves and do it.
Let's look at the positives.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I took you down the wrong page. You're trying so hard, Jim, to get me out of here. But let's do a positive paint.
All right, this is from Katie Belvin.
Okay.
Number 10, mixing my favorite paints to get just the right color.
I can see where that would be a lovely thing to do.
Number nine, the ability to recognize that what's going on in your mind matters. Our thoughts affect us more than we think.
Okay.
Number 8, letting go of hard times. Remember that with every unpleasant moment of situation, we always have the choice to still look positively at the moment, even when it's hard. Choose joy and happiness, sparkle and shine, turn that frown upside down. Number 7, the Steve Brown Art Center and all they've done for so many people. Number 6, lunch in the park.
Mm-hmm.
There's something so incredibly special about small town events such as this one. It opens up the door to new opportunities and sparks new friendships and connections. This week we had arts and music as well as lunch. It was fabulous. Number 5, there are endless forms of creativity. It is the spark that inspires us, fuels our passions, and keeps us moving forward in a constantly changing world. For me, growth comes from learning to view my work from new perspective and challenging myself to see each piece differently. The miracle is my ability to understand my art as a journey of discovery, and no two artists will ever create that journey in exactly the same way. That uniqueness is what makes every artist's work meaningful. Number 4, friendship. These are the people who choose to spend their time with you. They could be doing anything, but they choose to be with you, appreciate you, and experience new things with you. It's beautiful, and if you're lucky, can even last a lifetime. Cherish friendships. Number 3, new school supplies for the new year.
Oh, yes. Used to love that.
Growing up, it was so much fun going back to school shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Even I enjoyed that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you get overalls with this to wear to school or with the snaps?
I got the bohemian stuff. Yeah. Okay. Number 2, a friend who offers transportation even when it's not convenient for them. That kind of generosity does not go unnoticed. And number 1, choosing to be optimistic and joyful about what has happened in my life and what else may be coming in the next chapters of my life. What's a good thing happened to you this week, Dale?
Well, I went to a place called Interlochen in Michigan, and my grandson was in West Side Story and did a fantastic job. And he's an excellent singer, but everybody there is an excellent singer. And so he sang, he was in the pit. And when they would have a group of male dancers out there dancing and singing at the same time, they would sing along with them to help give them more volume.
Right.
So there were three of them. So that's how they got them involved. Then he had an acting part where he played the older man that was trying to keep the gangs apart and, get them so they weren't fighting all the time. And he had two longs, one in the first act and one in the second act, two long scenes that he did a very nice dramatic kind of job with. And so he did just fantastic. And so my thing is, I remember, and again, he probably was 10 or 11, I don't know. He wasn't very old, but he was in Shrek. He's been in lots of plays. He was in Shrek. He had the donkey, which is the second. And he was singing this solo, and I think 3 nights I saw it, but in one night he was singing this solo, and the verse just went, psh. So he just kind of stood there, waited for the music to go around, then went to the next verse. When it came up, he knew that, he recovered. He did just what he had to do. But so every time you go to any play and your relative is in, you think, oh, don't screw up, please don't screw up. Let it get through it correctly, and it reminds me of The Right Stuff, the astronauts, and their biggest fear was that they would screw up. They're not dying or anything, but screwing, and they didn't want to screw up, Don't let me screw the pooch. Don't let me make a big mistake. Yeah. And so that's how they said it, Yeah. And so that was their biggest fears, that they would, mess up in front of millions of people in this space mission. So, But he did a nice job, and it was fun because his family, my daughter and her family were there, and my son brought his family, most of them. And so my other daughter couldn't come. But anyway, there were 9 of us, I guess, and we stayed in a house a couple of days together that we rented and just had a lot of fun. A lot of laughing and playing cards and all that kind of stuff you do with family. And it was just a lot of fun. And so I enjoyed it very much. So that was my fun thing.
All right, a little narcissism coming out of me. This past weekend, a friend brought me a brown sugar crumb apple pie.
Okay.
Oh, Dale.
So, how much did you eat the first day?
The first day, I showed how strong I was and shared that piece of pie with my friend, and we each only had one piece, and put whipped cream on it. Oh, that was so good. Warm apple pie, John, with whipped cream. And Sunday morning I woke up, don't tell Ma, I had apple pie for breakfast.
Good for you, see? Good for you.
2 pieces apple pie on Sunday.
Yeah. So.
Oh, life is good.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's wonderful stuff. I'm glad you're doing that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful stuff. So.
Yeah. So
when those things happen, when we get something like that, the first thing we do is take a couple pieces over to the neighbors, so we don't eat it all. It's great, and I'm happy for you. That was wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah. So Dale, what else do you have for us?
Oh, I got a couple other things, but I just thought the one thing I was going to talk about was crypto for candidates. Because I know the Trump family's big in crypto, and I don't understand crypto at all. But this one company, the crypto industry, pumped $200 million into 10 different congressional races. And
say that number again. How much? $200 million?
$200 million into 10 different. And one guy got $7 million, one guy got $615,000, that sort of thing. But 7 of them got more than $1 million. And all the money, we've been talking about this for years and years, I know, but all the money, and even more now than ever before, being pumped into elections. And I swear we had the TV going kind of in the background, and this one advertisement against this one guy running for office. I think it was for the legislature in, or the federal legislature in out of Michigan. But just again and again and again and again. So I don't know how much it cost, but it was on all the time. And pretty soon, my son Chris, so he's making, but everything that goes wrong, John Burroughs would not like you to play that ace, just everything was, and that was the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was, but it just is scary, all the money. And again, I don't understand like cryptocurrency.
No,
I don't understand, how is that different than money? And to spend that much, they want something for it.
Yeah.
They're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts because they believe this person will be the very best legislator the world has ever seen. But it is scary, and I don't know what's going to happen with since they let corporations start giving and that sort of thing. So
the argument, Dale, do you buy cryptocurrency or do you get in the gold and silver market right now?
Well, I just have money, But a question I always have is they say we have gold, and gold is worth say $2,000 an ounce, but it's going to go up to $3,000 an ounce. I say, okay, why are you selling your gold then for this lousy paper money that's no good when you can just keep your gold? And also, if you buy gold, physical gold, where are you going to keep it? You have to keep it somewhere, right? Because that's something people can steal.
The lockbox in Sparky's bank.
Well, I don't know. And then if it's in there, then what good is it to you? You can't even say, hey, you ever see a gold $20 piece? I don't know. But so you have the gold bars or the coins or whatever, and I just don't say. I know that they have all these numbers saying if you put $1 million worth of cash in this box and $1 million worth of gold in this box 25 years ago, the $1 million in cash would be worth like $500,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas the $1 million in gold would be worth $2 or $3 million.
Right.
And so the thing is, you can't take the gold bar down to the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread. So I don't know, but gold I understand. Crypto I don't understand. I don't know why do we need it, and how do you make money unless it's like a Ponzi where you say, okay, you bought it for $25 and now you could sell it for $35. So it still gets down to dollars. So, I don't understand why we need it or even how it works. And honestly, folks, I don't care to learn. I just, in my head, I don't want to learn anything, this kind of stuff. So,
are you familiar with Mark Twain's short story, The £1 Million Note?
No, I'm not.
Samuel Clemens, it was written around the turn of the 20th century there, and takes place in England, and a man is given £1 million note, and he can't go to the bank and break it up, and he's a beggar struggling with poverty, and he's got to live on this £1 million note. Mm-hmm. If you walk around with £1 million note, you can get whatever you want. The store is going to give you whatever you want. You walk around with that gold bar.
Yeah.
The store is going to give you whatever you want. Eventually, you're going to have that money.
Yeah. Well, there's a Gunsmoke story where the guy comes in and people have treated him rather badly. So he goes out and he comes back and he got a couple big bags full of rocks, but he tells the banker that they're gold. And so he puts it in the bank. And then he talks about how sick he is, how he's dying. And so people give him anything they want, figuring, it's all backed up by that gold in the bank. Well, when he dies, they figure it's just a sack of rocks, So I understand it's the same principle as the story. Probably they stole it from that story that Mark Twain wrote. But yeah, it's only valuable if somebody pays for it, right? It's only valuable if someone said, no, I'm going to give you a sack of flour with the idea that someday I'm going to get money for it.
Right.
And hopefully it'll be a lot more than the sack of flour is worth. Whereas I'm selling flour. I paid 50 cents for this bag of flour. I need to sell it for $2 if I'm going to stay in business. Okay, that's my other costs and this sort of thing. And really, that's all I want. I don't want to, I called a motel in Ypsilanti and they wanted $660 a night to stay there. And the guy did not know why, because I've stayed there many times under $200. And so we went to a different place. And so I don't know why they were letting the rooms out for $660 for that one weekend. And the guy didn't know either. He was really surprised to see it when he got up on his computer screen to tell me the price. He was very surprised too. So I don't know. So anyway, but to me, if I need to rent this room for $200 a night, I don't want to say, oh, well, the circus is in town. I can rent it for $600 a night. I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. See, if I need $200, I don't to gouge people or to get more than I need to.
Okay.
So that's not the way I do things.
All right. Well, it's about time we get out of here. We got about 4 minutes, and we could solve that trouble if we didn't. We wouldn't have attacked Zach Canusa so much earlier.
Well, yeah, we could give you some money and say, here, take care of this for us. Now he's probably still mad at me from fourth grade. So, yeah. I don't know, but
all right.
I think it's marvelous how well he has done, though. I mean, he's got the office building down there. Where you're settled, he has a family. He's on a school board, right? Or
he was on the school board.
He worked with the community, and so I think that's fantastic.
He would he would be considered one of the fathers of the community.
Well, yeah, one of the leaders. And is he 40? I don't know if he's 40 yet or not. But you call him a young person.
Yeah.
One of the young leaders in this community, and with a lot of future. And so I sometimes am critical of, I say, okay, why do we have all these people that graduated from high school in Jesup and they never left? They never went anywhere else. They got a job here and they just stayed and didn't want to see some of the world or try something else or whatever. But a lot of those kinds of people are the backbone of your community. They've been here all their life and they love the community and they want to do everything they can for the community. And so they shouldn't be criticized, I guess. But it just... See, you came clear from Cresco, and I came clear from Hazelton to foreign land here in Jesup and started life anew. And so we're adventurers.
Our family had a good horse and buggy to get us here.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
So, remember when we had to wade that stream? No, go ahead, cut us out.
All right.
We got to get out of here. Remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what you told me that one time.
That's right. Don't forget, we have many things going on. The Steve Brown Arts Center podcast. Or the Steve Brown Arts Center. Those of you listening to the podcast on Monday, we had the jam session yesterday. We have a jam session usually at the Jesup Public Library the third Sunday of every month from 2 until 3:30. The artist collaboration is coming up a week from today at Gedney's at 10 o'clock. If you can make that, we'd love to have you join us. So we had about a dozen people last. We have Madison Sherbrand showing her exhibition at the Jesup Public Library presently. If you get a chance to see the community room, she's showing her photos there. Don't forget the Steve Brown Arts Center is showing the exhibit at M's Coffee Shop this month. Remember, Nick Thomas is being shown at Gedney's Bakery and Coffee Shop and at Sandra and Gary Akoff's house. The Wandering Table is going to be near you soon. Don't forget the 24-hour Mustang camera sponsored by Joe's Pizza in Independence and Manchester, and the Little Free Art House outside of the administrative building in Independence, Iowa. If you'd like to donate to the Steve Brown Arts Center or have an idea for an event, go to the SteveBrownArtsCenter.org and follow the link. If you have news or would like to sponsor us, email us at jim@SteveBrownArtsCenter.org or call 319-290-0241 and leave a message. I'm Jim Gillespie with Dale Rueber and producer Blake Tempus, fact checker John Klotzbach. Our thanks as always to Kelly C. Haas and Harlan Business and Event Center for allowing us to use their podcast equipment and studio. Thanks to the audience for bringing these stray dogs into your life. And as always, each day is about little victories.